One TV special report.
To strengthen post-harvest facilities and reduce losses among farmers, the city government acquired a property in Barangay Imbarco worth 2.4 million pesos as a local counterpart for the establishment of the 20 million drying system 2 warehouse project under PhilHealth. Once completed, this facility will provide modern grain drying and storage technologies that will enhance the efficiency and profitability of our agricultural sector. Meanwhile, the City Veterinary Office continued to strengthen livestock development and food security initiatives, serving 3,657 beneficiaries through various veterinary and animal health programs. This included 1,434 livestock owners, or I would say 1,434 deworming services, 242 vitamin and mineral supplementation, 318 recipients supported under livestock dispersal programs, 51 swine artificial insemination services, and 1,612 veterinary clinical services. Collectively, these initiatives represent a total documented investment of 78.258 million agriculture, fisheries, food security, and rural infrastructure. Every seed distributed, every farm-to-market road constructed, every fingerling released, and every veterinary service delivered represents our unwavering commitment to ensuring that no family goes hungry and that our agricultural sector remains a pillar of economic growth and food security. For when our farmers prosper, our communities thrive. When our communities thrive, the economy grows. And when the economy grows, every Pusavichman shares in the blessings of progress and development. The sixth key area is peace and order and good governance. Peace and order are the foundation upon which progress, development, and good governance are built. Without peace, without security, there can be no sustainable economic growth, no thriving businesses, and no prosperous communities. Under this administration, the city government, in partnership with our national government agencies, the DILG and the uniformed services, the PNP, the BFP, the BJMP, and AFP, has successfully conducted Barangay Skills Enhancement Training, or the BSET program, across 38 barangays. This initiative has reached a total of 418 barangay officials, 380 members of the Lumong Tagapamayapa, and 760 barangay panics and pipas. Hence, equipping our frontline peacekeepers with the skills and knowledge needed to better serve and protect our communities. This administration has remained steadfast in its commitment to ensuring that every Ozanistan lives in a city that is peaceful, secure, and conducive to growth and development. From January 1 to June 25, 2026, the city of Ozamis recorded a total of 157 crime incidents. This is a decrease of 5 incidents, or 3.09%, 5 incidents equivalent to 3.09% compared to the previous 162 incidents last year. Our index crime declined from 148 incidents to 144 incidents, equivalent to a 2.70% decline. Likewise, our non-index crime significantly dropped from 13 incidents to only 9 incidents, representing a 13.77% reduction. These figures affirm that our crime prevention measures are working and that our communities are becoming safer and more secure every day, made possible by the dedicated men and women of the Ozami City Police Station, whose professionalism, vigilance, and commitment to public service continue to uphold peace and security in our city. Through intelligence-driven operations, increased police visibility, strengthened law enforcement initiatives, and community-based law enforcement initiatives and community-based policing programs, our police forces has effectively deterred criminal activities and protected our communities from threats to public safety. Obviously, operational efficiency of our police force remains highly commendable. Out of the 157 crimes recorded during the period, as stated, Ozami City successfully cleared 153 cases, resulting in an impressive crime clearance efficiency of 97.45%, and solved 136 cases, translating to a strong crime solution efficiency of 86.62%. This means that nearly 98 out of every 100 crimes committed in our city had been cleared, and almost 87 of every 100 have been solved. While we celebrate our gains in peace and order, our fight against illegal drugs must remain relentless and uncompromising. Illegal drugs remain to threaten the future of our youth, destroy families, fuel criminality, and undermine the peace and progress that we have worked so hard to achieve. Thus, this administration fully supports the intensified anti-illegal drug operations campaign of the PNP and all law enforcement agencies. I am proud to report that our efforts are bearing fruit. As of 2025, Ozamis has officially reached a 63% drug-free status, with 32 of our 51 barangays certified as drug-cleared barangays by the Regional Oversight Committee on Barangay Drug Clearing, producing a total of 1,575 completers and graduates. To tell you the truth, this was quite a hard quest. All 32 barangays are now applying for retention of their drug-free status this July 2026. This achievement is further validated at the national level based on the 2020-25 Anti-Drug Abuse Council National Performance Audit conducted by the DIFG. Ozamis has been officially recognized as highly functional anti-drug abuse council, posting an 83% functionality rating, among the highest in its all. We continue to strongly support the national government's anti-illegal drug campaign through a comprehensive range of programs, interventions, and rehabilitation for persons who use drugs, PWOs, and surrenderies through our community-based and facility-based drug rehabilitation programs. An aftercare program providing livelihood assistance, annual drug testing, and continuous monitoring of our graduates
intensified law enforcement coordination with the PNP and the PDEA, and the sustained financial, logistical, and technical support to all 51 barangays. Through our Asenso Ozamis Sustainable Livestock Livelihood Assistance Program, this is in coordination also with the City Health Office. We have provided aftercare support to 702 beneficiaries as of July 2026, distributing 20 goats, 212 piglets, and 470 pairs of chicken to help our viewers rebuild their lives and sustain their recovery. To match this commitment, the City Anti-Drug Abuse Council approved a budgetary increase from 3,400,000 in 2025 to 4,450,000 in 2026. A clear signal of this administration's resolve to sustain and strengthen every program under this campaign. Our stand is clear and unequivocal. There is no place for illegal drugs in Ozamis City. We also have strengthened the fight against online sexual abuse, exploitation, and human trafficking. As we embrace opportunities brought about by technology and digital connectivity, we must also confront the emerging threats that accompany them. Among the most alarming are online sexual abuse and exploitation of children, distribution of child sexual abuse or exploitation materials, online sex trafficking, cyber-enabled exploitation, and all forms of abuse of women and children. These crimes strike at the very heart of each and every family in our community. As your city government, we stand firm in our commitment to protect every child, every woman, and every vulnerable individual from all forms of abuse, exploitation, and trafficking. Ozamis City continues to carry the distinction of being part of the Tri-City Justice Zone, specializing in the fight against online sexual abuse or exploitation of children, DOSAI, and the child sexual abuse or exploitation materials, CSAI, together with Cagayan de Oro and Iligan. These are duly recognized by the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, composed of the Supreme Court, the Department of Justice, and the DILG. In partnership with our law enforcement agencies, educational institutions, barangays, faith-based organizations, and civil society groups, we continue to intensify our campaign against online sexual exploitation and human trafficking. Protecting our children is not solely the responsibility of the government. It is a shared duty of every parent, every teacher, every religious leader, every community, and every citizen. Because when we protect our children, we protect the future of Ozamis. As Claro M. Recto once stated, the security of the people shall be the highest goal. Guided by this enduring principle, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to uphold peace, defend justice, protect families, and preserve the good of all. Together, let us continue building an Ozamis that is safe, secure, and progressive. When every citizen can live with dignity, every child can dream without fear, and every family can look to the future with hope. Further, beyond maintaining law and order, this administration has continuously invested in strengthening our emergency response systems and building communities capable of withstanding natural and human-induced hazards. through the services of the City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office. Uzami City responded to a total of 142 emergency incidents from January to June of this year. This consisted of 81 vehicular accident responses, medical transport operations, standby, non-transport, and transport care responses, 3 clearing operations, fire incidents, suicide and death incidents. Believing that preparedness is the first line of defense against disasters, the city government implemented various capacity building and disaster preparedness programs, including the activation of the Nagkahibusang Alerto sa Usamis, a citywide radio network, conduct of basic life support, and automated external defibrillator training, distribution of the same AED to the barangays, hospitals, and partner agencies, conduct of maritime security bombing simulation exercise at Uzami City Port, implementation of a 4-day basic emergency response training for Barangay Malaobang, conduct of barangay skills enhancement trainings, integration of disaster risk and management programs into port and community operations, completion of a hazardous leak inventory in all 53 barangays, and the institutionalization of the incident command system to improve coordination during emergencies. To strengthen environmental safety and sustainability, the CDRMO also assisted in the formation or formulation of contingency plans for the sanitary landfill and conducted hazard assessments as part of the pre-construction requirement for critical infrastructure projects. Looking forward, the city government shall continue to strengthen its CDRMO through the procurement of additional disaster response and communications equipment, acquisition of emergency response vehicles, including pick-up trucks and boom trucks, establishments of an emergency operations system, center, expansion and enhancement of disaster-related infrastructure, stockpiling of emergency and non-food items, continuous capability development programs for CDRMO personnel, and creation of the Uzami City Quick Response Team. Indeed, peace and order and good governance are not only about maintaining security, but also about protecting lives, strengthening resilience, and ensuring that every Uzamistan lives in a community that is safe, prepared, and capable of overcoming any challenge. The last of our key areas of concern is environment and sustainable development. A progressive city is not only measured by its economic growth or infrastructure development. It is also about how it protects and preserves its environment for future generations. Our administration remains steadfast in our commitment to building an environmentally sustainable, climate resilient, and disaster-ready Uzami City through effective solid waste management, environmental protection initiatives, and proactive city adaptation programs. Today, I am proud to report that all 51 barangays in the city have achieved 100% implementation of segregated waste management, waste collection system. This citywide effort is supported by 6 garbage trucks, 3 dump trucks, and 43 operational materials recovery facilities. Our solid waste and environment management office continues to implement the no segregation, no collection policy
complemented the extensive information and education campaigns. The city government penalized 246 violators of environmental ordinances in 2025 and another 97 violators from January to May 2026, demonstrating our resolve to promoting environmental stewardship. Our city intensified its environmental conservation efforts through tree planting, mangrove propagation, and rehabilitation activities. Likewise, the city government spearheaded 21 coastal, river, and community cleanup activities, mobilizing schools, civic organizations, volunteers, and barangays. As part of our climate resiliency initiatives, Ozami City processed more than 10,837 cubic meters of biodegradable waste through composting and waste diversion programs. Our vermi-composting initiatives utilize thousands of kilograms of biodegradable waste materials and produce vermicast to support urban gardening and food security programs. The Ozami City Sanitary Landfill and preliminary disinfection storage facility remains fully operational and is compliant with environmental standards. The city government also strengthened waste recycling and circular economy initiatives through the production of eco bricks and other reusable products. Today, we can proudly say that Ozami City is becoming a cleaner, and more climate resilient community. Together, under the Asenco brand of service, we remain committed to building an Ozamis that is not only productive, but is also progressive, prosperous, and environmentally responsible. Also, I might just as well add, unquestionably in this age of technology and innovation, good governance requires institutions that are efficient, transparent, and responsive to the needs of the people. Thus, our administration continues to pursue digital transformation and institutional reforms that improve public service delivery and make government more accessible, efficient, and accountable within the workplace. That is through electronic business permits and licensing system, or our EPPLS, which have significantly reduced processing time, business permits, and improve the ease of doing business in our city. Building a digitally empowered city human resource office is also one of our pursuits. And they have embarked on a transformative initiative through the development of a human resource information system, HRIS, which platform is designed to centralize, streamline, and automate human resource management functions across the LGU. This will reduce manual processing of personal transactions by more than 70% and improving records accessibility and retrieval efficiency to up to 90%, thereby strengthening accountability and good governance in the local government. My dear fellow Ozamis, no administration can succeed alone. Government may initiate programs and implement projects, but it is the people who give life and meaning to development. To our members of the Sangguniang Panlungsod, led by Honorable Vice Mayor Simplicia Berdineri, thank you for your partnership and unwavering support. To our esteemed Governor, Governor Attorney Henry S. Pangilinan, to Congressman Sancho Fernando, Pat Waminal, and Congressman Attorney Henry P.D. Waminal, Fuentes Waminal Jr. Thank you for your steadfast leadership, invaluable support, and unwavering commitment to the continuing progress of Luzon City. To our department heads and government employees, thank you for your dedication and hard work. To our punong barangays, thank you for your commitment and service to your communities. To our private sector partners, civil society organizations, development partners, the academy, the clergy, thank you for your trust and collaboration. To our healthcare workers, security forces, farmers, fisher folks, youth leaders, and all frontliners, thank you for your invaluable contribution to our city's progress. And to every Osamistan, thank you for your trust, your cooperation, and your continued faith in this administration. Even as we celebrate this accomplishment, there are still challenges to overcome. There are still communities to upkeep. There are still dreams to fulfill. As already stated, the future of Osamis cannot be built by government alone. It requires all of us working together with one purpose and one vision. A nation can only be great. A nation can be great only if its people are great. Indeed, the greatness of Osamis does not lie merely in our buildings or roads, our investments and our statistics. The true greatness of Osamis lies in the Osamisans. Basing from that, today I can proudly declare the state of our city is strong. The economy is growing. Our communities are thriving. Our future is bright. And the best chapter of Osamis City's story still lies ahead of us. Let us continue with the dream. Let us continue to work. Let us continue to move forward, united in purpose, fortes in fide, and inspired by the shared vision of a brighter tomorrow. Padayon sa pagservisyo, padayon sa pagtinabangay, padayon sa pagtiusan, padayon sa pag-asenso. Mabuhay ang bayan sa Osamis! Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! Maraming salamat and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you very much, Mayor. Honorable Majority Floor Leader, is there any other matters to be delivered?
There are no pending matters on my table, Honorable Presiding Officer. I now move to adjourn the session. Present portion.
This special session is now adjourned.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that concludes the Sangguniang Pangsod ng Osamis special session. We congratulate City Mayor Attorney Sam Norman Go Fuentes for the substantial and meaningful state of the city address. Again, Mayor, congratulations from all of us, Osamistas and Visamistas. Also, we are grateful for the presence of everyone, especially in the presence of our hard-working Governor, Henry Sibilio Waminal, and the 2nd District Representative, Congressman Sancho Fernando and Fuentes Waminal, and the better half of our City Mayor, Regional Director, Dr. Ruth Legaspi Fuentes, and to one and all, we stand today as witness of the first State of the City address of Mayor Attorney Sam Norman G. Fuentes. And now let's proceed to our final opportunity. We invite Mayor Attorney Sam Norman G. Fuentes with Governor Henry Sevilla Wamina and Congressman Sancho Fernando Ano Fuentes Wamina.